Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels.
Lori here.
Well, we want to tell you in this video how we got ripped off by the Mexican cartel police.
Yeah, so we had to pay almost $1,000 US.
So in this video, we're going to give you the backstory, how it all happened, and we were so shook up about it. So this was a scary time in our life traveling in Mexico.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep for 5 days.
Yeah, it was really shocking and tragedy to us. Stay tuned and we'll show you this part of the video.
And it's true, not just to get sorry from somebody else. It's true to us. Okay.
Well, you know, that was a great little Pueblo Magical that we saw.
Yeah.
Tell me that name again. I have such a hard time with it.
Well, we just get out from That's the right one.
Lori's having a tongue twister there, isn't she?
Yeah.
So, Lori, let me ask you, Mexico City, you really wanted to see Mexico City. It's been, what, 15 years since we were there?
Yeah, 15 years ago, we've been to Mexico City. This time, I'm going to go to see it, how it looked like 15 years ago. So.
Uh-oh, Lori. Uh-oh, there's a problem going on. There's a police that's going to be pulling me over here.
Oh,
wow. A motorcycle policeman. I'm gonna see if he'll pass me, and then maybe he's after somebody else. So
okay.
Let me see here. Looks like he's not gonna. He wants me to pull over. Okay, so I'm gonna pull over up here, and we'll just have to talk to him. I'm gonna just keep driving. I hope that he passes me up, but. No, he's not going to. He's definitely telling me to pull over. Okay, I'm going to pull over here.
Okay.
I think we better shut this off. Oh my God, finally we get away from them. That was just an ordeal to max out. Man, I am so shocked. I am so disappointed and terrible, huh, Lori?
Yeah, it was very terrible. So they just stopped us and they want to pound our car away, and we kind of negotiated out. So they're gonna tow us cars and they wouldn't get the payment, they wouldn't get the negotiation, and another police come up and another police come up. The total is about 8 policemen come up. So. And now I was kind of worried, so we negotiated. He said, well, you pay right now 18,000 pesos. 18,000 pesos. I said, oh my God, I don't have that money. And he said, you have American money? I said, no, I don't have any American money. I was so shocked and so scared.
Yeah, and the terrible thing about it, like Lori said, there probably was 6 to 8 motorcycle policemen, and they're wearing their face shield for the motorcycle, and then some of them are wearing a bandana around here. And we don't speak Spanish, and they were just jabbering like crazy. Yeah. We were trying to figure out, what was going on, and then they says, you see that wrecking car over there, that tow truck? We're going to impound your car. We're gonna, you won't be able to get it back for 2 days. And I'm thinking, my gosh, we have all of our stuff in here, all of our luggage, our food and everything. And we can't afford to have it, impounded. And so we're really negotiating, trying to ask them, how much is it gonna be? Can they let us go? Please let us go. And no, they're not going to let us go, huh, Lori? And
no, they won't let us go, and then they keep coming and pounding. Say, you see that record right there? We're going to tow your car away, and you're going to get it for a couple of days. And I was nervous, I was scared, and then Jerry was shaking. We tried to use the Google Translator to talk, deal with what happened. But finally,
But the thing too, as they're trying to use the Google, you know, there's policemen on both sides of the windows, and they're just talking away like crazy, and I can't follow it, you know, and I can't even use the Google Translate or even trying to get some type of a conversation going. They wanted me to give them the registration and my license, but I didn't want to do that because I thought if they're holding that, then they, you know, they're going to just hold us a lot tighter. And so it was just, I mean, I was scared just because I was just so frightened that we were going to get everything taken away.
Yeah.
And then Lori's negotiating. Now tell them about what happened when they told us how much money the fine was going to be.
Well, I asked for, you know, can you go down a little bit? We don't have that much money.
How much did they ask?
They asked for 18,000.
18,000 peso. That is 1,000 US dollars.
Yeah, and then I tried to ask to go down. He go up to 20,000. Yeah. And I said, oh no. So and then finally I pull out some of my money out, and then Jerry pull out like a 7,500. I'm sorry. And so he said, no. Take your money back. We're gonna tow your car right now. And I pull out another 4,000, you know. And he said, no, that's not enough. And so I have a 200 peso bill. I have maybe 5 or 6 of them in my, and then I show him, I pull it out, and then Jerry tried to dig his wallet out, and then total he got maybe about 15,000. And I have another, you know, couple hundred or 150 peso in my wallet. He said, give me that, and he take it out. I said, don't you leave the money for lunch? He said, no. He didn't say anything. He just grabbed it. Give me that and go. Yeah. And I give you a little. He gave me after slip. He gave us a slip, and I have a code on it. Go, mister, go.
Yeah, he was telling us, says, once you pay me, I'm going to give you a certificate. I'm visualizing a certificate.
Yeah.
You know, a formal certificate. So finally, after we gave him all the money we had, we didn't have any more money, and he hands us this little card. It was looked like about the size of a business card, plain paper, both sides. Yeah. And he writes a code down. He says, if you get stopped, you know, just give him that. Well, we don't know how far it is to our hotel.
Well, we're thinking, well, how about if we get stopped again? We didn't have this. Is just a slip of paper, like a business card, you know, and it gets from the number. He says, just go. Oh man, it was so scary.
Yeah, I mean, it was intimidating like crazy. I mean, you know, we're sitting in this little can here, and there's all these policemen that are surrounding us, and I didn't want to take the chance of videoing them because then, you know, that would maybe create a bigger problem, and maybe we get thrown in jail and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was really a shock. You know, it was just terrible. So, yeah, it was the most frightening thing that, you know, I've experienced in a long time. So, well, now we're going to get back on the road here, and we can head into the city, and hopefully we're not going to get busted by another police. Well, we finally got here to Mexico City, huh, Lori?
Yeah, finally.
Well, what a bummer. And so we want to give you an idea of what happened to us, a little bit more of the backstory of when we got caught by the police, and maybe even we're scared. We were scared to death. It was so frightening. And so the whole thing came down. We were driving, and I noticed in the rear view mirror that there was like 3 policemen on their motorcycles that were pulling us over. And I kept going because I don't usually pull over when I see something like that, because they may not be stopping us. And a lot of times it works that way, and then they go by us, or, you know, they're stopping somebody else. So always wait and keep driving. And so I kept doing that, you know. Well, finally a motorcycle cop came up, pointed to us to get over, And I says to Lori, I says, uh-oh, we're getting pulled over.
Yeah.
And so then you tell them what you were feeling when this was happening.
Well, in this feeling, because we don't know the rule, I tried to beg him, and they say, we're going to pound your car. You see the record there? We're going to put your car in there, and then you can go tomorrow and get your car back. But where you going to go? He doesn't know. And then, so finally I asked, so can we pay the fine? I say, no. And I was so nervous, I was so scared, and then finally we talked it out. I talked like smile and laughing and joking a little bit, and then he said, okay, you can pay the fine. And then I asked how much the fine is, and first thing he said, 1,000 US dollar, 18,000, you know, 18,000 peso,
which is 1,000 US dollars.
And I said, can you go down a little bit? He said, no. And he said, now 1,200 US dollar. I said, I don't have that money. He said, you don't have US money? I said, no, I have no US money at all, you know. And then what did he say?
So they wouldn't back down. I mean, I'm looking in my little wallet here. I pulled everything out. We came out with about 7,000. Okay, we need 18. We're, you know, and we had about 7,000. So we kept pushing them. Let us get by with this. And they said no. You see that record over there?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to impound your car. They're going to take it. You're not going to be able to get your car for 2 days. My mind was just racing. If they impound our car, they're going to probably take us to a vacant lot someplace out of the city, not around any hotels or anything we can get to, no ATM machines. We won't have any money. So we were getting, you know, a lot
frightened.
Yeah, we were
I was shocked and frightened, and finally I grabbed my bag and looked at my wallet. I have about 4,000 in there, and he said, give that money to me. So, and then he looked and said, no, that's not enough. So Jerry looked at his wallet, and he have maybe about 6 or 7 bill of the 200, you know, that means another, you know, 1,000 or 600, and I have another 600 from my wallet, and then I have about 350 left in there. He said, no, give me all of it.
He just reaches over, you know.
Reaching over and then take all my money. He said, this money for my lunch. He said, I don't care your lunch.
Yeah. So, you know? So when it all shook down, they weren't going to let us go, and we knew that. So we scraped up everything we had. We went into our secret compartments where we do hide money, and we were able to scrounge up about 17,000.
No, it's about 15,000. That's what we have in our pocket.
Yeah. So that was about $750 that we ended up paying this scam situation. But in reality, we were wrong because, and we didn't know this, in Mexico City, you can only drive so many days. They look at your license plate and they look at your number. If it's an odd number, they tell you what days you cannot drive in there. And if it's an even, they tell you what days you cannot drive in Mexico City. And so we didn't know. We were driving in on one of those days, and they busted us. But you know, they were really extorting us by asking for $1,000. I mean, that was crazy. And we could have said, well, give us a ticket, but they're saying, no, we're going to impound your car. We're not going to give you a ticket. And we definitely did not want to have our car impounded and us be stranded. And so we got as much as we could together. I mean, like Lori says, even a little bit we thought we'd have for food. So they just took it all, grabbed it, and then he ends up taking a little card, and it's just a blank card, and he says, this is my number, and this is your permit. Go ahead, and this will get you into the city and drive right to your hotel room, and you'll be okay. Well, yeah, but this card had nothing on it, and I'm scared. I'm thinking, what if we get stopped again? Another policeman, you know, wants to do the same thing to us. So we drove, and we had to drive, what was it, about maybe about 20 minutes? Yeah,
it's about 20 minutes to get in the hotel, and then we find the parking, and I was so relieved. But that night, all night, and the next night, all night again, I couldn't sleep because my stomach was still pounding and scaring and nervous and frightened. It's all over the about.
Yeah, we were just really shook up. And so that's how we're starting our trip into Mexico City. And we don't want that to deter us from having a great time here. So we're trying to put this aside. And but by just sharing this with you, I think it's helping us vent it out. And so what is my words of wisdom? Check out the law, find out what days, and we did that now after we got here. We found out that actually on the days in our license, you could not drive on a Friday or Saturday, okay? And then we ended up, a friend of ours, Christina, she went online and she got a permit for us to drive. And so we are safe, but to be honest with you, I'm still scared that if we drive out, you know, and I have it on my cell phone and I have to hand them my cell phone for them to check it. I don't want them having my phone in their hand, so I'm a little afraid. So what we're gonna do, even though we have the permit, we're gonna leave on a day that we can drive out. We're not gonna pick a day on the Friday or Saturday to leave. Then we'll be safe. And the other interesting thing, I thought it was just in Mexico City, but it's through the state of Mexico that this law is reenacted. And the reason they did it is because so much traffic here, 9,000 people, that they needed to cut down on the traffic and pollution.
900,000.
No, 9 million.
Oh, 9 million people. I'm sorry.
so that's why they implemented this law. But definitely, I don't know if they really would have impounded our car or if they would have given us a ticket and then we could have went to a municipality and paid for it. And so, but we were caught. We had no idea. We didn't know what to do. And it was a bad day. So it was a bad way to start this trip coming into Mexico City. Well, we're going to put it aside and we're going to go forward and just, you know, enjoy the city and the culture here.
Yeah, when I put that at 18,000 peso, that I put it as an entryway to get into Mexico City.
Yeah, that was our entry fee to get into Mexico City. So trying to keep a good attitude. Okay, well that's our little wrap, a little update on how we, at one point we felt we were scammed, but then when we finally learned about the law, we realized we did break it, but I don't think that the fine was adequate for what we were doing, meaning the fine was way too exuberant than what, you know, our situation we had. But we still don't know what the law is around that. If you do drive in, will they impound your car? If you know the answer to that, let us know.
Okay.
Okay, that's our little wrap. Next video, we'll be visiting Frida Kahlo's home here in Mexico City. Stay tuned for that. It's quite an interesting home.